Hey, what's going on, guys? Today's video is gonna be a second part of the Bestiary farming strategy, and the reason why I am doing a second one is because after I made the first one, I was farming more with the strategy, so I did learn more about it, and also on top of that, some people that are more experienced with the strategy have messaged me and shared with me their information and their findings about this strategy. And that's actually pretty useful because testing this on your own is very hard because the strategy is very RNG. Like, first of all, you just have a randomness of what kind of beast and how many beasts you find in the map. On top of that, you have 15% chance that they will be in pair and 15% chance that yellow beasts will be red ones. On top of that, you have 10% chance that there will be a lot of beasts in a map. And if you are using flocking Watchstones, you have in total 50% chance with Secrets of the Stone that the beast is gonna get a copy. So because of that, sometimes you might do like 100 maps and you're not gonna encounter a single Cracky Chimeral, and then you're gonna do one map and first beast is gonna be Cracky Chimeral and it might be in pair, and both of them will get a copy, so you might get 4 Cracky Chimerals just from one beast. So you might think this is like very extreme scenarios, but actually both of them did happen to me. Like, one day I did farm 100 maps and I didn't find a single one, and second day, first map gave me 4 Cracky Chimerals, so it's actually not that extreme. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is Watchstones. So there are basically 3 choices. First one is chance that the red beast will be less common of 2 varieties, but actually it turns out that it does not stack with the natural selection. So you can either remove this and go for something else when you are using 2 of these Watchstones, or just don't use this one, it's not gonna do anything. The second good one is chance that the beast will be from the deep, which increases the chance that the Cracky Chimeral will appear in the map, but it also turns out it doesn't have that big of an impact. It's still pretty nice, but personally I think just the flocking, 10% chance that you will get copies, so again in total 50%, in most cases is gonna be the best one, especially for solo play. And again, in this video I'm focusing mostly on solo play. In terms of the passive, Invasion is probably the best one. It is very simple, you just kill one monster and get a ton of loot like Chaos, Orbs, Sextants, Scarabs, or even Sixlings. So it is a pretty nice passive to go for. Another thing I did learn is something that you're gonna just have to learn on your own, is recognizing the red beasts. So the Bestiary has a cap of 1000 beasts in a Bestiary, so if you're gonna catch a lot of bad beasts that no one is buying, for example Goatmans, eventually you're gonna have full Bestiary of the bad red beasts, so you're gonna have to spend 1 C per orb just to remove them from your Bestiary. So to avoid that, the best way to do it is just to recognize in a map when you find a beast like that or like that, and just don't kill them, only kill the good ones like Cracky Chimerals or plagued arachnids and so on. So that's the first thing that I did learn. And also it turns out that the white maps are actually not that bad to do. If you're gonna farm beasts in white maps, so remove all of the Watchstones, you're gonna farm white maps, but it's probably not worth it because you would prefer to actually have all of the Watchstones, so you would just buy white maps, and they go for like 1 to 2 C if you are buying just the random ones. So just to show you, here are for example Pit, Stagnation, Ancient City, and so on, and you can buy them in bulk for 1 to 2 Chaos. These are obviously not the best ones, they are pretty big and annoying to do, but again they are very cheap. If you would want to go for actually good white maps, you would have to spend much more because a lot of people that are farming beasts are farming them. And the reason why you would want to go for white maps is because tier 1 to 4 actually have the least amount of beasts you can find, and Crikey Chimerals and Phenuma Plague Arachnids can actually appear in any tier of maps. So even if you are doing a white maps, you can still find them. And for example, Sakavin Rex appears in tier 5, so this is why you want to do at most tier 4. And Pharik Tiger Alpha appears in tier 13, so if you're gonna do tier 13 and above, you're gonna find all of the beasts. And Pharik Tiger Alpha is considered as a tier 0 beast, and Crikey Chimeral is also tier 0. So this is especially bad if you can find them in a map, because you're gonna reduce the amount of Crikey Chimerals you're gonna find. But doing red maps is also pretty nice, because you can do things like Awakeners, maybe even Maven Invitations. You're gonna drop the Guardian maps, Synthesis maps, and so on. So if you have a really nice build, I think red maps still are gonna be better. But if you have not that great of a build, you can stick to white maps, even maybe yellow maps. But white maps are especially good if you have a speedrunning build. So you can make a build that is good for lab running and stuff, and with these builds you can run maps with like 500% movement speed and so on, and just focus on killing a good beast. And this way you just do white maps and do a ton of them per hour with rusted or polished scarabs, gear that are probably not worth it, and you also hunt for a lot of great migration. So this type of strategy might be very nice in white maps. Also, you can do these maps white. Pack size seems to not have any impact on Bestiary, especially just for a normal Bestiary that you find in a map. And for great migration, again, this is also very RNG, because all of the beasts can be duplicated and so on, so it's really hard to notice if pack size actually helps, but it feels like it actually doesn't help. So you can just stick to white maps. So here as an example, I'm gonna show you one mineral pool maps that I actually did proc the Great Migration, and you can always notice that because you're gonna just do a few steps and there's a ton of beasts. So for yellow beasts, and again this is white maps, that's gonna be super easy. I'm just killing every single yellow beast. For red ones, this is the lynx, so I would kill that one. These are another yellow ones. And currently, yellow beasts, you can sell 70 of them for 1 exalt. So you make, on average, like 1 C profit, I believe, from every yellow beast. So if you encounter like 20 of them, that's already 20 C from 1 map. So here are another 2. And here are Phenomenal Devourer, so these are not that great of a beast, so you could skip them. You could try to sell them for like 4 chaos, but you might have an issue with selling them. So let's continue killing all of the beasts. And if there is like a ton of beasts in one spot and you can't avoid killing bad red beasts, I wouldn't just run around and try to figure out how to kill yellow without killing red beasts. I would just kill them and just take the cost on of putting beasts in orbs. So this is the scorpions, I would skip it. Let's search the rest of the map. It looks like I cleared most of it, so now I would just leave. If this was a red map, I would also kill the boss, but in white maps it doesn't really matter if you're gonna kill the boss or not. So this is basically how I am doing the maps right now. Also, I did learn that, well, I did know that in Bestiary, the certain zones had a higher chance to have certain types of beasts, but after the Bestiary League, they did change that, and now every single zone has the same chance to get every single beast. But it turns out it's actually not true. Certain zones still have modifiers that give them increased chance for certain beasts. For example, Glacier and underground sea, because they are like a water biome, they have higher chance to give you beasts from the deep, which are cracky chimerals. And for example, fungal hollow gives you higher chance to encounter beasts from the caverns, which is the phenomenal plagued arachnid. It is pretty hard to recognize which one have higher chance for better beasts, and for example something like Mausoleum doesn't have any modifier for any beasts, and to test if it actually has any effect, you would have to do like thousands and thousands of maps to actually figure out if it has any effect. And the reason why I know about it is because a person that actually did thousands of maps in previous leagues, and he tested how many certain beasts he is getting, and he noticed that he is still getting more Krakic beasts from water themed maps. So it turns out it might be still a thing that you are finding more certain beasts in certain layouts. Now let's talk a bit about putting beasts in orbs. So this is the most annoying part about this strategy, and some people don't want to do it because of that, but there are a few ways to make it easier. For example, I did make some text to help search for certain beasts. For example, if you want to take out only the good red beasts, I didn't make something like this. Here is the list of all of the red beasts, so I would just copy this, paste it in here, and I would just take out all of these out of my bestiary. Then I would move on to the second search, and you have to split it because you can't have like a big text in here, and then I would take out all of that. And again for the third one. And here I have Sakavin Vulture, which I am killing in my menagerie because this is giving me 6 rings for divines, and Pharik Apes I also have somewhere else because I am saving them for myself. And here is all of the yellow beasts. So after I'm done with good red beasts, I would go for the yellow ones. So these are the ones that don't have like a nice art. And then I would just take out all of the yellow ones and move down the list. These are separate because if you search for Goatman, for example, you still are gonna see the red Goatmans. So it's easier to search for them this way. And the second way to do it is you can actually just do the good red beasts and then go for the bad red beasts and then take all of them out. And again, you just have to take them out and then just sell them to vendor because they are not gonna sell. You can at least get like 2 alchemy back from it. 1 alchemy per beast. And after you're done with that, after you remove all of the bad and good red beasts, pretty much everything else that is gonna stay here are gonna be yellow beasts. So you're no longer gonna have to like searching for just the yellow beast because every single beast is gonna be yellow. So this is easier way, but you're gonna have to remove all of the bad beasts, so it's gonna be a bit costly. You're eventually, if you're gonna do this strategy for a long time, eventually you will have to remove bad red beasts anyway, so this is the preferred way. Also, I want to quickly mention the lures. When I asked the people that are farming this strategy for a long time, they said that lures are pretty much worthless, even in party play. People are not really using them. They are just too expensive, and the best cost efficient scarabs most of the time are just polished. Now polished are a bit more expensive than they were a few days ago, so rusted are also a good option, but gilded scarabs and lures are probably not a way to go. And talking about the prices and the market, probably because of my video, prices changed a lot. The polished scarabs are more expensive, and I actually am starting to have issue with selling my yellow beasts. As you can see here, I have 2 full quad tabs of yellow beasts. I sold 1, but I still have 2, and I have been trying to sell them for like 2 days. During the time when I made the first video, it was like no issue. I would sell 2 full quad tabs for 1x for 60 beast in like a few hours, and now I was trying to do it for like 2 days and I had issues, and I was selling them 60 beasts for 1 exalt. Still selling things like Phenuma Plague Arachnid, Cracky Chimerals, the Cobra plus Crab combo for the add mod to a rare map. These are selling very nice. You're not gonna have any issues with selling them, but selling things like even lynxes and wolves sometimes are very hard to sell, and especially again the yellow beasts are pretty hard to sell right now. So if I were you, I would probably wait for a while for people to just forget about the strategy, maybe like a week or two, less people are gonna do it, or just remember the information that I gave you right now and try it out next week when it's not gonna be as popular as it is right now. So that's gonna be pretty much it. Bestiary is definitely a good strategy, it's just a bit more popular right now, so you're not gonna make as much money currently, but it is a nice thing to remember for the future. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.